If your Shopify sales look like this, watch until the end. Hey there everybody, welcome back to Ecom Daily. Today we're going to be talking about how to go ahead and source the best selling products every single time, and basically what you need to go out and do to basically take your store to the next level if you're currently not experiencing or acquiring the sales that you would like to, and you're not seeing the results that you really want to be seeing as of currently. So currently Ecom Daily is the only YouTube channel posting every single day on YouTube. So if you're currently just starting, or if you're currently running a Shopify store and you're not getting the results that you want, you're not really partaking or moving forward in the way that you like, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so that you can get videos every single day in your inbox that are likely going to go ahead and help you out and add new strategies and new ways for you to explore going about improving your Shopify store. So with that being said, I want to just go ahead and jump straight into this now so that you guys can go ahead and pretty much understand exactly how to best acquire new products for your store and basically a new way about going and doing this, because a lot of other YouTube channels and a lot of other people who get started with Shopify and dropshipping in particular have certain misconceptions about ways about sourcing products, and they think that they should go ahead and look at the competition, which arguably yes you should, but there's definitely more to it than that, and I'm hoping that you get the most out of this video. So if you do, I'd like to also say drop a like if you do like the content that you see here today, and once again make sure that you subscribe. So jumping straight into it here, I want to go ahead and not just ramble on too much, but today we're going to be talking about reverse engineering and how to basically what that entails, and really why you need to be reverse engineering your product sourcing method. So jumping straight into it, the way that we're going to go about reverse engineering here today is, rather than going ahead and jumping straight into Aliexpress like every other person tells you to pretty much go ahead and do, we're actually going to go ahead and take it a step back, and we're actually going to go ahead and look at the audience first. 90% of the time, most people go ahead and try and source products first. They go ahead and perhaps you're also a victim of this. You're going ahead and you're sourcing products, or you're super excited to go ahead and start your store. You maybe throw in 50, 100 products into your store, and you think, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and just source and find the audiences for these products, and I'm going to just go ahead and sell them to any and everybody that I can find, whether it be through Instagram or paid advertising such as AdWords or Facebook ads, whichever you may be doing currently. Most times I find that people really go ahead and lose sight of what's really important, and they try to put too much emphasis onto their store. They try to put too much emphasis onto the products themselves, which are once again arguably important in their own right, but to me, and what I've learned going through and selling my own products, I've learned that the best way to go about sourcing new products is to first look at the audiences that you're going to go ahead and actually sell to, and that's why I call it the reverse engineering method, as rather than sourcing from the product first and then going and finding audiences to sell this product that we've just sourced to, we're actually going to go ahead and take it a complete a 180 onto the entire spectrum, and we're actually going to look for the audience first, and then we're going to try and find products that we can sell to this audience afterwards. We're going to be a little bit more specific with it, and we're going to go about certain ways here that we can actually go ahead and do so. So firstly, we need to actually go ahead and find an audience, and I'm going to do this here with you live, and we're going to go ahead and pretty much source an audience here. I've already pretty much loaded up one. I want to go ahead and just go on Instagram. Instagram is a great tool, by the way, and I'm going to go ahead and just recommend that if you aren't currently using Instagram, I honestly don't know what you're doing, because Instagram right now is currently probably the best way to go ahead and find and test out products and audiences and see exactly what people are following on right now today, rather than just making random assumptions. Posts are made on Instagram daily, every single second of every hour. There's tons of posts being made, there's tons of content going through, and there's tons of potential for you to go ahead and basically leech off. I don't want to say leech, sounds really bad, but you can pretty much benefit off of what these larger Instagram influencers are doing, and get a lot of insight and information from them. So I'm going to go over here and I'm on Instagram currently. And what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is today, we're going to just go over the scuba diving industry, and we're basically going to go over and cover, exactly why basically step by step how to go ahead and reverse engineer this sort of niche right here. And we're going to pretty much then, you can go ahead and pretty much apply this to your own situation thereafter. So currently I'm on Instagram, and, I've pretty much just searched, a very, very basic hashtag scuba diving. It's, pretty commonplace, and I'm pretty sure that this is, this is pretty much what you would call a more broad targeting on Instagram. And pretty much we're going to go over here and just look at the the top posts that are being made, and we're going to pretty much try to visit some of these pages here and get insight into exactly what kind of people they are, and what really interests them. And for the most part on Instagram, since it's a very photogenic sort of platform, you're going to get a lot of just random pictures or videos, or most things that would pretty much not really align with you as a store owner, as once again you're looking at it from your own perspective of you need to make money, you need to try to find what the competition is selling. But in a lot of ways, it's sort of once again misconstrued. I would say it's not really something that you should actually be focusing on. What you should really focus on is the communities that you're actually seeing here, seeing the comments that are being made, seeing the people who are actually liking, who are who are following these pages, who are active followers of these larger communities, and what people are actually posting. And it's really easy to go and actually find people, for instance, here on Instagram, who actually are scuba diving, or perhaps who are avid scuba divers in them in itself. Once again, I'm relating everything to scuba diving just for the sake of the video, but for just so that you can understand here, you can pretty much assume that these people who are posting videos of themselves scuba diving are likely videos of themselves or pictures of themselves in a lot of cases. And you can actually see from right here, these are the types of people that you'll likely be selling to. And you can also see, if you scroll through long enough, you'll probably see people who are actually targeting and selling to these audiences as well. Now, some steps for you to go ahead and actually reach out to these audiences. And you can see right here, I've already stumbled upon a product that's probably being sold. Or they've just bought this product. You can see these water bottles, or scuba diving bottles of some sort. They're called the Hydro Flask. Perhaps there is something on Aliexpress that we can source that's similar to this. Once again, you always want to make sure that when you're looking through, you want to make sure and see likely the related hashtags that are being used throughout the person's picture, so that you can go out and get a feel for exactly where they're from, or what type of person they are, what their what this product right here was actually used for, rather. But in most cases, once again, it's very, very simple to go out and find an audience and actually get a deeper look into their lives when you're actually just looking through Instagram, and when you're seeing the posts that they're making, and you're seeing what they're doing, and you can actually even go ahead and create your own Instagram account on behalf of your store. And this is something that I also can recommend, is really effective actually, is that you can go ahead and first create an Instagram account, and then actually reach out to these people who are once again avid scuba divers, or once again, it doesn't matter what you're doing with your store, but you can see where I'm coming from. These are people who are actually scuba diving. These are people who are making posts of themselves scuba diving, or taking part into the recreational activity. So if you want to go in and actually target a person, you really need to get into their own life, and you really need to understand from their perspective. It's not always about being the store owner and just trying to source any product and trying to sell just anything that you can come across on AliExpress that might seem cool or trendy, like back last year when people were trying to sell fidget spinners every single where. In most cases, you really want to get into you really need to understand the audience, but you also need to understand the passion behind it. And once again, scuba divers are likely passionate about what they do, as it once again takes effort to actually go out of your way to partake in an activity such as this. So and once again, you can see that in a lot of cases there's pages that have tens of thousands of followers, and you can see that some of them are fairly big, some of them are fairly small as well, but in a lot of cases you can even find companies who have larger followings, who you can actually go ahead and pretty much shadow follow, I would say, just sort of overlook what they're doing and how they're operating and what content they're providing their audience. In a lot of cases, that's pretty much what I would do, to go ahead and actually look at the audiences and see what what's viable and what people would actually like to see, and what they'd actually want. And sometimes I'll actually even go ahead and reach out to relating companies and see what they're selling and etc. To make sure that what I'm about to go out and source sort of aligns with what they're doing. But in most cases, once again, I've sold within the scuba diving niche already. So once again, this is a sort of a perfect case for me. I actually went ahead and sold several of the, many of the scuba diving masks that I'm going to go ahead and show you here now. I wouldn't recommend you actually going ahead and doing the same thing, as it's probably being overused at this point. I sold quite a lot, and once again, I'm not discouraging you from doing so, but you should understand that selling the same product as me, you may not have the same luck, or you may not have the same strategy that I had and approach that I had when I was going through it. But in most cases, when you're trying to go ahead and actually search for products, and you're actually trying to, delve into a new niche, for instance, if you're a general store, or if you're just starting your store and you're looking to get into any niche possible, it's always best that you do a little bit of research onto the audience itself first. And once again, this all comes down to me using Instagram, which is super simple. I'm not trying to make this seem overcomplicated or try to make it seem as though it's one huge secret. It's just a different way of approaching your sourcing method and making sure that you can actually get high selling products all the time. A lot of times you're here on Aliexpress and you're so blindsided by the different products that are offered here. There's so many different types of products. There's millions, if not tens of millions of different products here on Aliexpress, and to try and sell even one of everything is near impossible. But I like to go ahead and say that it comes down to basic economics of supply and demand. Lots of times when if you're currently not selling, or if you're not in a space where you're actually acquiring sales, it's largely due to your own fault of misrepresenting or misunderstanding what the audience actually is demanding of you, and you're not actually supplying them with what they actually want or need. So in a lot of cases, it all comes down to, once again, doing research and doing thorough, doing a thorough background on the audience that you're actually looking to go ahead and target, and then simply going ahead and sourcing, maybe 5 different products that would actually relate to the niche. So for instance, we're here into the scuba diving niche. I've gone through, and mostly it's very photogenic pictures. It's mostly people showcasing their experiences, and what I would typically do from here now is I'd go into other hashtags. I'd go into other different categories. I'd reach out and see and view the profiles of people who have actually liked or commented on the posts themselves, and I would actually go ahead and perhaps either DM them, or I would reach out to them with perhaps a free plus shipping offer. Or what you can go ahead and even do is go ahead and request from some of these scuba diving Instagram or influencers to go ahead and pretty much post on your behalf. Once again, you can go ahead and DM them. A lot of times they will respond and give you a rate for making a post onto their page. If you do a 24-hour post, it can cost anywhere between $50 to $100, or sometimes more, depending on their follower count. I'll probably make another video on this another time, but for now, for you just to completely understand this here, it's very, very simple to just go through, see the comments that are being made, perhaps reach out to some of the commenters, perhaps try to go ahead and follow some of the people who are following these pages if you're starting your own Instagram account, and build up your own community and build up your own following, and do the exact same thing what you're seeing others do within the hashtag sections here on Instagram. For instance, don't go ahead and reinvent the wheel. Don't go ahead and try to, just go all out and try to be something completely unique. Just follow exactly what other people, who are currently, selling products on Instagram are doing, and then go ahead and source products on AliExpress that may mimic, or that might be similar in any way to the competition here. It's very, very simple way to go about doing or sourcing your products, and making sure that you're validating them basically before you even source them. So for instance, right here, I haven't visited the site yet, so I'm not sure exactly what to expect, but we're here on this person's page, and we're going to go ahead and check out their store. If you go ahead and check right here, this person's selling a silver hammerhead ring for $54.99. I can pretty much go on AliExpress right now probably and find this product for $3 to $5 at most, maybe $10 at most. So that person's right there making at least a $40 markup, if not nearly a $50 markup right onto this product alone. And I'm guaranteeing you that it's probably actually selling. Why? Because first firstly, they went ahead and researched and, within their industry, and they actually took the time to go ahead and, see what was working within the scuba diving niche on Instagram. And then they created their own Instagram account, and then they went out and sourced a product that they could actually go ahead and sell to, people who are following this type of content online. In a lot of cases, you can also assume that it's not always scuba divers who are following this content, and that's a clear observation that this person's made. This silver hammerhead ring right here can be worn by pretty much anyone. It doesn't necessarily need to be a person who's, in any way affiliated with scuba diving or any sort of recreational activity or water sport, for instance. It could just be a person who's interested in following the content, who's passionate about this sort of content, and they can go ahead and buy a ring, to go ahead and, represent that. And a lot of times people do actually go ahead and do so. And if you go ahead and see, it's very, very, their store is nothing really special. It's not as though this page is even really well put together, in my opinion, but it's definitely probably bringing them in sales, and you can go ahead and assume, you can assume so just based on the engagement that they're receiving, and you can also see, just how they're pretty much progressing with their own Instagram page. Now, you can go ahead and pretty much do the same. Once again, it all comes down to validating your niche first, going ahead on Instagram and pretty much getting some insight as to what to sell, what products are probably working, what you see other people doing within Instagram itself. And once again, I'm using Instagram for this video, but there's other methods as well. This is just something that I'm sharing here now. And then afterwards, after you've already validated a niche to go into, after you've seen what the audience is looking for, after you've seen what they're interested in, most times it's just a very photogenic interests, and what you can pretty much go out and do is source a product that once again somehow relates to that passion that the people have for following that content, whether it be that they're scuba divers or once again tennis players or whichever niche you're actually looking to go into. Just go ahead then onto Aliexpress and source products that are actually once again that define or what relates to that passion, and in a lot of cases you can go ahead and pick 5 products, and out of the 5 products that you pick, assuming that once again you do your due diligence and you also see what others like I've just shown you other people on Instagram are doing, you can go ahead and then pretty much assume that you're likely to go out and at least acquire one sale out of the 5 products that you might promote. And once again, this is not me saying that you're going to acquire sales through, indefinitely. This is just me trying to go ahead and share a suggestion as to how to better, go ahead and validate the products that you're putting into your store before you even put them in. Because a lot of times people who start off their Shopify stores for the very first time just want to go ahead and jump in and sell anything. And it's honestly beyond me why you would want to go ahead and do that. Once again, selling even just being a general store, a lot of times I see people improperly put together general stores, and it's just very not well put together, firstly, but also it doesn't look professional, and in most cases it doesn't acquire you sales. So if you want to go ahead and take anything away from this video, go ahead and first understand that it's once again basic economics, supply and demand, understanding your audience and understanding what they actually need and what they're actually interested in and what their passions are, making sure that you do deep background checks, either through Instagram or other methods that you may source, and then going ahead and jumping into the product sourcing, and then jumping into products that you can actually go out and sell. And once again, the products that you sell should directly relate and should be very clear cut after having done that due diligence and research. Once again, that's the whole method of reverse engineering. It's less focused onto the actual product sourcing, and it's more focused onto the audience and exactly understanding what their needs are before you even begin thinking about what margins to put on your products, what products to sell. And if you do it this way, in a lot of cases you'll better understand your store, but you'll better understand how to promote and sell to the audience that you're actually even putting the product into your store for the first place. So I'm hoping that made a lot of sense. I'm hoping that you go out and take this into account, and I'm hoping this helps you out. And if it did, what I'd really appreciate is if you'd be willing to once again go ahead and subscribe down below and hit the notification bell, as we're posting videos every single day. And if this one perhaps wasn't of help to you, still go ahead and subscribe, because once again, we're posting videos every single day, and there's surely something that'll come across that may help you out in some sort of way. So I'm hoping that you're having a great day today, and I'd like to say we'll see you tomorrow. By the way, if you're interested at all, please check the description if you would like some one-on-one help from myself. I'm doing it only for a couple of people, so go in the description if you would like to go out and take advantage of that, as I'm only doing it for, a little while here. But definitely we can go out and discuss, your store in particular and what I can basically go out and help you out with. Once again, this is completely for free, so there's nothing really attaching. I'm not here trying to sell you anything. I'm just really trying to go out and help you out. So with that being said, I am now actually gone, and I'm going to actually see you tomorrow.